All right, before I go to sleep, I just washed my face. Um, y'all, so with God, I know that I have been shifting from, God has been showing me how to, um, He's rewiring my nervous system. I have lived most of my life in surviving. I know how to survive. I know how to survive. I know how to keep my head above water. I know how to make things happen from that energy. Um, and God spoke to me about 2 years ago, telling me to rest. And my nervous system began shifting. And so that meant my mindset had to shift. I had to regulate my nervous system when God was telling me to rest, because I had been doing such intense soul work for about 8 years, 7, 8 years. And that was hard. And I was familiar with that place. But that place was for that time. And it served me for that time. And that time was up. It was time for me to rest. It was time for me to shift from from striving at things to thriving. Um, and that takes sometimes learning. And I was tested last week on, there was a lot of things that was happening back to back. If you saw my previous post, it was back to back. And I'm a hustler, baby, and so I found myself tapping into that, and it was a tug of war. I literally felt, because I'm in tune to spirit, I literally felt my guardian angels hovering over me at night when I felt that sense of anxiety that I used to have. Um, And I realized that, when you're shifting to thriving, when that nervous system is shifting, sometimes you'll be presented opportunities to whereby it will test whether whether you are going to rest in God. It really is refining your character. It's teaching me how not to jump into proactive without allowing God to lead. So it's a tug it's for me, sometimes it's a tug of war, especially if stuff go down. I'd be like, well, I gotta make things happen. And there is truth to taking action. There is truth to having your faith, right? Using your faith in action. But the biggest thing that I have learned in thriving is listening to God's voice in God's direction over your fear, over your nervous system that tells you that you got to do certain things. And that sometimes is a moment of opportunity where you recognize, wait, God, this is you leading me. This is you leading me this time, and not my own. And so this week was definitely challenging, but it taught me how to lean into God's voice as I move forward. So I hope that helps anybody. Sometimes change for the better is great. Like when great things are happening, when you see things unfolding and you see God doing it in your life, it can be amazing, but sometimes it can be also a shock to the nervous system. When you're used to struggling, when you're used to that, it can be a shock to the nervous system when you hear a language of rest, when you hear, let me do it for you, when you hear those things in your spirit, when you've been used to running, used to jumping through hurdles, used to making it happen, used to snapping fingers, used to solving a problem. So God has been guiding me, and God might be guiding you. Whatever God is cultivating, whatever chapter or season that you're in, know that God is sovereign over you, and that nothing within you is wasted. Nothing within you is wasted. Nothing within you is wasted. Whatever God spoke over you, whatever God said to you, God is refining in you, pruning in you, rebuilding your character, refining you, allowing you to see how He sees you and not how you think you have to show up. So I pray for anybody listening to this, that they would know that in the fire, in whatever it is, season that you are in, that God is sovereign over it all.